Hey everybody, I'm Noelle Gray with Keller Williams Drive, and I am your Greenville guide to living local. Today, I want to address my sellers. And I want to address some things that you don't always consider when you're looking through an offer. And these things do affect your bottom line. Most sellers that I have seen, they want to see that, offer price, and they're going to take the highest price, and that's what they want. And they fail to consider that the offer price isn't the only thing that is coming at them. There's also stuff that is being taken from them. So in the contract, in the South Carolina contract, there are places to negotiate where the seller is going to buy or pay for HOA fees or transfer fees or any additional fees that kind of come with that transaction. And there's a place to negotiate where the buyers are going to pay for that. All those same things. Now, if the contract says that the seller is going to pay for that, that basically means like, okay, the offer is here, but really now we're bumped down a little bit. The other thing is in the contract, the buyers can ask for concessions, and that those can be pretty significant. And I've seen those overlooked before. Even on being on the buyer side, I'll write concessions into the offer, and the listing agent comes back to me and says, "Well, I don't understand. Where did this $3,500 come from?" And I will explain. Well, when we submitted the offer, we asked for $3,500 in concessions, and so those are the concessions. And they don't catch it until the end. And now the seller is upset, and now it's frustrating for all parties involved. But it's something that they agreed to, so they have to pay that. And so it's very important that you look at all aspects of that contract. The other thing that sellers don't always recognize as having, financial value is time. A lot of sellers, lose money simply because of time. That could be their market sits or their home sits on the market for a long time, or the closing date is pushed out. And so now it costs you in prorated taxes, it costs you in paying another mortgage, it costs you in more utilities, it costs you in, and so those costs add up. And so even though the offer price is this, those things inside that offer, like time, will um will end up costing you. The other thing that, I see a lot is that people don't look, to the future, and they say, okay, they want this is the offer price. They want $3,500 in concessions. Seller's paying for all these additional fees, and that's fine. We're good with that. And they're, basically taking the check to the bank and they're ready to cash it. And then the inspection comes, and now we need a new roof because we can't lend on it because the roof is bad. And they don't foresee those things. And so as the agent, it's important that, you foresee those things. An agent should, at least be able to predict some things. Obviously, some things come out of left field and we never expect it. But as the agent, you should be watching out for the client and making sure that you are ready for that. But those can sneak up too. So then you've already brought your check to the bank. You're ready to cash it, and now you've got another $8,000 to $10,000 on top of that. That impacts your bottom line. I've seen that happen. I've also seen them come back and just say, "Hey, we need all new windows. I need $5,000," or "Hey, I just need another $1,500 because there's little odds and ends things that we would like to fix." So that's another $1,500 that the seller's not walking away from or walking away with. I have seen it get so nitpicky to the point where the seller actually has ended up not really benefiting from the sale of their home at all. They're walking away with pennies comparative to what they should have walked away with because of simple errors, not considering all the different things that come into play. Another thing that affects the bottom line of a seller could be the appraisal. If the appraisal comes in low, you have one of two options. Either the seller is going to bring the price down to whatever the appraisal says it's worth so that the lender will lend on it, or the buyer is going to have to bring that additional cash to close that gap in that appraisal. And 9 times out of 10, buyers don't have it, and so or they're not willing to overpay for a home. And so that appraisal coming in is another huge milestone in the transaction for you guys to consider, before you decide, okay, this is our bottom line. So, I caution sellers, and I'm happy to sit down with anybody and talk them through this, but I caution sellers, that initial offer is a best case scenario. But what would be the worst case scenario? And you have to kind of go over those things too at the beginning before you accept an offer, so that you understand that, hey, at the end of the day, even if I walk away with, this in a worst case scenario, it's still a good offer and it makes sense for me and my family, and it protects our finances. And that's kind of what I do, and that's what I like to make sure of when we do get into those situations, talking through every single possibility to make sure that when you accept an offer, it is a good offer, that you are excited about, even in the worst case scenario. So that is all I wanted to talk to you about today. So seller beware. And if you have any questions, or if you'd like to sit and chat with me about any of this, you can always schedule a call with me, or you can shoot me an email, or shoot me a text. My number is 864-360-3887. Or you can email me at noelgrayrealtor.com. That's Noel at NoelGrayRealtor.com. That's all I have for you today. Until next time, have a good one.